Hey guys, in this video I'm going to break down how Electronic plays the CT side of apartments on Inferno. This comes from a match between Navi and fnatic, so let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is what Electronic does if he decides to go into the apartments at the start of the round. So he'll generally throw this molotov at about 142. It lands at the end of halls. Here's another example as well, different round. Throws this molotov at about 142. And the reason why he throws this molotov is to basically prevent a rush from the terrace. So if you're a terrace and you have a decently good spawn, by the time you get to this choke point, this molotov will already be up. So that's why he throws this molotov, to prevent this kind of rush. In this particular round, we're going to see him do it once again. He's going to throw this molotov at 142. However, I want to highlight that Navi are playing a 3B setup here. And what Electronic is going to do, he's going to tack on a smoke as well. So he's going to throw the smoke at the end of halls at about 137. And the reason why he throws the smoke in this particular round is because as the two A players, you want to make sure that you can't get rushed, because as the two A players, you don't want to get rushed at this time because your bomb site's a little bit weaker as you have the 3 players towards B. So you want to use your utility to basically delay so that as the CTs get set up at B, you have enough time for these CTs to come back towards A. And that's the whole goal, or the reason why you want to have your utility being used at this time. So that's why he uses that extra smoke. So another thing as well is that he's going to throw this molotov at 142. Look at his teammates. They're set up in a triple porch setup, and he's actually going to spam the end of halls. And this spam actually lands more towards this bridge area. So if a terrace is actually spamming back at him, this spam is designed to try to maybe hit him. And as well, he has this other spam that's going to land basically, or it's intended for the player who decides to go up on the window. So the spam will hit him as well. And the whole reason why you might want to use these spams is because if you look at the setup of Navi here, they're in the double porch setup. So these spams are basically designed to kind of buy them some time to be able to set up. And as well, it can act as a way to mask sound. So let's just say these CTs, they decide that they want to boost up on top of porch. The gunfire from Electronic can kind of mask these sounds as well. So also another possible reason. So let's take a look at some of the angles that Electronic decides to play. He decides to play this angle here for the halls, on top of the balcony, on top of the railing. Sometimes he'll decide to use this angle here, where he's playing a bit more passively. He has this player towards the moto side. And this is a really good angle because, so the first thing is that he's basically has his crosshair lined up in such a way where if the terrace decides to peek out from the halls, he basically has a good angle on him. If the terrace decides to peek out from the lane side going into sight, he has a good angle on him as well. In addition, he's covering himself with the wall just enough so that there's very typically a flash that the terrace like to throw from middle that's going to land right about here. This wall will basically cover that flash, and essentially it's a good way for him to basically play counter flash without actually having to do it. He just has this wall cover it for him. And as well, when the terrace decide to peek or run up towards this porch side, they're going to have to make a decision if they want to clear the site or if they want to clear Electronic at this balcony area. So basically, Electronic is playing the percentages of, it's either 50%, or there's a 50% chance that the player either checks the site or checks his spot. So in either case, he's in a really good spot to be able to get the kill. And as well, another spot that he'll like to use is he'll like to spot this angle here towards the boiler side. So if the terrace decides to go towards boiler to kind of check out porch side, he has a really good angle to be able to get a kill or at least do really good damage to him at almost no danger of dying. It's a very difficult shot for the terrace to hit onto Electronic. So another thing that you can do, let's just say you're feeling that there could be an exec coming. What Electronic likes to do is he likes to smoke the end of halls and then play up close to it while watching the porch side. And this is really good because a lot of the times when the terrace runs along this porch side, they're not expecting a player to be right in front of the entrance of apartments like this. And as well, if a terrace decides to go through the entrance of halls, Electronic has a really good angle on him as he's basically running through smoke. It's a huge advantage for him. So let's go over when he's playing towards the pit. So this is one angle that Electronic likes to use. He'll play on this right side of pit, and he has a teammate in Boomich who's covering the porch side, which is why he can do this. And the really good thing about playing this spot here is that it's a really tough shot for the terrace to hit as he goes towards this spot. And as well, this wood panel on this wall that's to his left basically covers him from all the flashes that the terrace can throw from the halls if they decide to do a halls pop. So that's really good. And as well, he puts him in a spot where he can kind of help his teammate if he needs to. You can see that fnatic, they make a bit of presence towards mid. Boomich, he's forced to fall back towards site. And now Electronic, he's in a reasonably good spot to be able to cover him as he falls back to site. And what we're going to see here is he's going to move to his next angle after Boomich moves to site. This angle here, once again, very difficult for the terrorist to be able to spot him or be able to get a kill on him when he's playing crouched down like this. And in addition, this wall that he's playing up against is going to act as a barrier in the event that the terrorists throw this flash here, the flash that I talked about earlier, that pops right about here for a Halls pop. So basically, you know, these two spots that Electronic is using, where he has the wall cover part of his field of view, is to prevent him from being flashed from these couple different flashes that the terrorist can use. So another spot that Electronic will like to use as well, if he has a teammate smoke the halls, or maybe he does it himself, he'll like to use this off angle here. And a lot of terrorists, when they're going to be peeking towards the porch side or the pit, they're not going to be expecting that or anybody who's going to be peeking from this wide out. So generally, if somebody's peeking with an op here, you're probably going to guarantee to be getting a kill, as the opper probably wouldn't be expecting you to be playing this spot. So let's go over some reactions that Electronic will have. So this first one here, you know, once again, throws the molotov at 142, and then he's going to be met by a bit of pressure from the mid area, as simple as force to fall back towards site. He's going to see that flash crossover. He's going to be able to get that first kill. He's going to be able to get that second kill. He's going to fall back. And notice what he does is that after dropping towards the balcony, he's going to drop a smoke towards the pit area and then go on top of the bicycle to use this as a bit of a one-way. This is a really powerful angle to use, as if fnatic can decide to continue to push, he's in a really good spot to get multiple kills. So here's another example here where simple, he's going to get caught off guard towards that porch side. He's going to end up going down. Now Electronic right here, he doesn't quite immediately go for the trade, as this moment right here where Golden throws his molotov, he realizes that one person has already crossed this angle. He's likely running up towards this side. So what Electronic is trying to do, he's trying to catch the second or third player off guard. And that's why he tries to time this. He actually happens to see Crims and Brolan. They're both out with their nades. After he spots this, he decides to drop back down. Realizing that this player could be really close, he drops the smoke right in front of the small pit area and puts himself immediately in front of the wall so that he cannot die that quickly. After the smoke is up, he can kind of just play around it. So it's a really good play that you can use if, you know, you make contact towards porch, you drop down, you throw the smoke right here, and it's very difficult for the terrorists to be able to trade you. And right here in this moment, you're going to see that Boomich, he's going to toss this flash from the arch side to allow Electronic to peek. He tries to peek, but unfortunately Crims kills him completely full blind. He's just spraying randomly. But overall, really good play that you can use as well to always get your arch player to kind of flash for you when you're playing this pit side. So here's another example where we're going to see a smoke from fnatic. They're going to toss this front site smoke. And Electronic, his reaction to this is to throw a smoke in front of the halls. And he's going to basically play in front of it. Now the big thing here is that Navi, they realize they're in a spot where they don't have arch side, and these terrorists are likely coming up porch as well. So Electronic, what he's trying to do is he's going to try to cover himself from arch using these boxes here. Look at the way that he kind of angles himself. And by him being covered from these arch, from these boxes from arch, he's able to kind of fight the porch side just a little bit. So he's able to get that first kill onto Golden. And look at how after he gets a kill onto Golden, he jumps immediately into the smoke. That way he cannot get traded too easily. And now this buys time for the rest of Navi to basically rotate towards the A site as he just hides in the smoke. And now everybody on fnatic, they're basically, you know, they have to respect the smoke and they have to wait for the smoke to clear to be able to clear out Electronic. So here we're going to see another angle that Electronic likes to use. Sometimes he'll drop down in front of or behind the railing rather, to have this off angle. But note, you can only use this if you have a player who's playing towards the porch side. What we're going to see here is that Golden's going to toss this lurk smoke in front of him. And look at what Electronic decides to do. Realize this is going to be a pop flash play, or a Halls pop rather. And he's going to kind of play in front of the smoke in such a way where he can't get blinded from the flash that the T's will throw from this side. Neither can he get blinded from the flash that the T's throw from the other side. So because of this, he's able to find this first kill onto Golden. And notice how he doesn't drop down the pit right away. Instead, he holds on top of this balcony, basically having two options, or allowing two options for fnatic to peek him. Either they go through the smoke here and he's in a huge advantage because they're running through a smoke, or they drop down towards the porch side and they fight him from this angle. And because Electronics is basically already expecting it, he's going to have a really easy fight to be able to get this kill as well. And the reason why he doesn't drop right away is because if he drops right away, he has to respect the fact that, you know, people can be dropping down on him, people can be peeking from this angle, which is why he doesn't drop right away. He waits a little bit before dropping down. And in this scenario here, you know, he can basically fight from hit however he wants to. He overcommits just a little bit, but overall a really good play that you can use where you're playing on top of this balcony area when you see that lurk smoke. So once again, this is another example of a lurk smoke where he's playing from pit. And you can see that at this point now, he's expecting that this could be a halls pop. So that's why he's basically not really peeking the halls. He's just putting his face in front of the wall and he's getting ready with a counter flash. And what he's doing here is he's waiting for the flash to pop from the terrace first and then going to be throwing his counter to be able to fight the terrace. He realizes that there's no flash and he also hears that Brolin jumps up on the railing. And this is what prompts Electronic to know that this is not a halls pop, but rather just a player who's trying to lurk out halls. So he just tries to take the fight, tries to spam the smoke, ends up getting the kill. And then right here, the Arch player Perfecto actually threw a flash to allow Electronic to peek this. So you're going to see right here, there's the flash. Electronic, now he's going to jump spot just a little bit, just over the wall. He's not in any danger of dying when he peeks it in that way. So here's going to be another reaction here. He's going to see a moto smoke. And as well, he's going to see this lurk smoke once again. And he's playing on the balcony, so this is another play that he'll try to do. Knowing that it's very likely that the terrace are either going to be coming up the lane side or coming up the arch side and leaving, you know, potentially one, maybe two people in the halls. Electronic tries to take his chances here and try to fight this halls guy by playing just above the smoke. Unfortunately, his timing is a little bit off there, as he isn't quite in the position at the right time. But you can kind of see the idea where he wants to play in front of the smoke to be able to get these kills at halls before worrying about where the rest of the push is coming in from. So the last thing here is that Electronic, he'll use this spot at graveyard once this half. And this is a really good spot to be able to kill this one lurk who always goes halls. However, if there's multiple people who decide to peek you in this particular round, they actually do go for a halls pop. It's not quite the best spot, but if you know that you're going to be facing a lurker a lot of the times, it's good to use this graveyard spot once a half. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like what you saw, please drop a like on this video. If you want to see more, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you found this helpful, please drop a comment below. Thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.